Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on January 13th, 2018. I have 7 strategies with my game, Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white numbers that just came up were the 7, 24, 33, 49, and 50. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list. And then I take the last 3 drawings of numbers and I transfer these numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 14 red numbers, 17 orange, 9 green, 17 blue, and 12 purple. And these colors change with every single drawing. Okay, over here to the far right is 193. This represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. And out of this 193, 102 have come up a 3-color combination. 72 have come up a 4-color combination. 16 have come up a 2-color combination. And only 3 times out of 193 drawings have all 5 colors come up together. And never has it been just 1 color. Okay, so this number right here, 4, this tells me how many colors came up in the last drawing. So you can see that there was a purple number here, and another purple, and then a green, red, and orange for 4 colors total. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up together, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no green numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because green had a little run right here of 3, and now I had another run of 3 right here. And since there's only 9 for this drawing here, I'm just going to guess that no green numbers will be coming up. So I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the right. So to speed things up, this is what the game card looks like with no green numbers to it. Okay, so when I block out a number like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if I'm correct with my pick and none of these green numbers come up, I'm 1 step closer to hitting that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, and how this works is up top. This is the master for all the numbers. Okay, and over to the far right, these are the numbers that just came up in the Powerball lottery. It was the 7, 24, 33, 49, and 50. Okay, so that was a 5-group hit. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card and see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see that I have 7 groups total. Okay, so group number 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9. Okay, group number 2 is the teens, then 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s for 7 groups total. Okay, so there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how this works is I like to keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, so this big square right here represents 5 drawings. Okay, so I'm at the 3rd one here, so the 3rd drawing out of 5. So the reason why I like to break things down into 5 is because it shows me a majority of things. Okay, so here I like to break things down into 5 so I can see how many hits were in this certain group. Okay, so if there was a lot of hits like right down here in the 30s, okay, there was a lot of hits in this group, and then the following group of 5, there was only 3 hits. Okay, so my theory is that if there's going to be a lot of hits in a 5 drawing pattern here, then maybe the next 5 won't have so many. Okay, so and vice versa. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no 30 numbers will be coming up. Okay, and the reason why is because it was really hot here. Okay, and pretty hot here, pretty hot here. So I just think that it's going to cool down. Okay, so there's already 3 hits in this group of 5 drawings. So I don't think there's going to be any more hits within this 30 drawings within the next 3 drawings here. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. So again, I'm going to eliminate the 30 numbers off of the game card. So I'm just going to blow this back up. Go back to the game card. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like with no green numbers from the color code and now no 30 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so if I'm correct with my pick, I'm just one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so another way to look at this is I'm parlaying some bets here. Okay, so I'm spending $3 on the Powerball ticket, and that's for the power play option. Okay, so my first bet is that no green numbers will be coming up in the color code, and now I'm parlaying the bet with the individual numbers here. Okay, so now I'm parlaying that no 30 numbers will be coming up. So I'm betting that no 30 numbers will be coming up in this lottery. Okay, so off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so I took all the numbers and divided it into 4 different groups. Okay, I put colors to this group. So when the Powerball numbers come up, I record where they land within these color groups down here in the stats. Okay, so of course this red means where the Powerball numbers landed within this red area. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage, and again, the 5 white winning numbers that came up were the 7, 24, 33, 49, and 50. Okay, so there was no winning numbers in the red area, so I put a 0 here. Okay, so over here in the blue, you can see that the 7 and the 24 were in the blue, so I put a 2 down here in the blue. And then over here in the orange, it was the 33, 49, and 50. Okay, so there's 3 of them in the orange area, and there was no winning numbers in the green area. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess where these zeros are going to pop up. Okay, so if I could have guessed correctly that no winning numbers were going to come up in this green area, I could have eliminated all these numbers in the green area and really reduced the odds for myself. Okay, so how this works is that I came up with 15 option cards. Okay, and the reason why I did that is because I want to give myself as many options as possible to pick where these zeros are going to pop up. Okay, so my first guess is going to be option card number 1. Okay, that no green numbers will be coming up. Okay, so I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how this works is when I go back to the game card here, you can see that I have these numbers here, and then I have 5 numbers off to the side. Okay, so that's how it comes up with 69 total numbers. I got 64 here and 5 over here for 69. Okay, so when I eliminate this group of numbers right here, okay, the 53 shares the square with the 69. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm guessing at groups of numbers whether they're going to come up or not come up in the lottery. Okay, so as I look at this group 1, this green area, okay, this group of numbers includes the 53 and the 69 as a group. Okay, so when I eliminate this group of numbers, I'm eliminating the 53 and the 69 at the same time. Okay, so as I scroll over to the right, you can see that the 53 is blocked out with the 69. Okay, so that's how I group things up. All right, so off to my next pick in group 1. I'm going to pick at number 5, option card number 5, no orange numbers. Okay, so the reason why I'm picking at this one, okay, is because I think that there's going to be a third 0 in a row here. Okay, so as I scroll down, you can see in this red area, okay, and all these option cards look the same as far as red, blue, orange, and green. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other from each different option card. Okay, so in this red area, you can see that there was 3 zeros in a row. Okay, and as I scroll down, you can see in the blue area there was 3 zeros in a row, and as I scroll down in the green area, you can see that there was actually 5 zeros in a row. Okay, but never has there been 3 zeros in a row in this orange area. Okay, so I'm just going to guess that this is due to come up. Okay, so I'm going to guess that this is going to be a third 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these orange numbers off of the game card. So I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so why I'm doing this, why I'm going piece by piece here, okay, is because I want to show you how my game works, okay, in case you want to use my game for your own picks. And secondly is, if I make a mistake and let's say that maybe the 22 comes up, you could say that, okay, well, this is where he made a mistake. He shouldn't have picked option card number 5, no orange numbers, you know. So I like to show everybody step by step on how I'm coming up with my numbers. Okay, so I'm going back to group 1, and my next pick is going to be option card number 7, no green numbers. Okay, so the reason why I'm picking this one is because you can see that there's a single 0 here, single 0, okay? And every once in a while, of course, it doubles up or even triples up, okay? So here, here's 7 in a row, okay? So again, here's 4 zeros in a row, 5, 6, and 7. So I just think that it's due to double up, okay? So I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so at the bottom of the game card, you can see that I have group 1, option card number 7, no green numbers. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, and if I'm correct with all my picks, okay, the 5-way winning Powerball numbers should come up within these numbers that are still highlighted on the board here. Okay, so I'm going back to group 1, and my next pick is option card number 9, no green numbers. Okay, so the reason why I'm picking this one is because of this 29. It had 29 hits in a row. Okay, and then a little bit further down here, it had 10 in a row. Okay, so there was some big numbers here as far as 8, and then 29. So I just think that it's due to have a small number, like a 4 here. Okay, so I'm just going to guess that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Alright, so I'm going to go back to group 1. And my next pick is option card number 11, no red numbers. So here, why I'm picking this one is, again, there's a bunch of single zeros in a row here. Okay, so I just think that is due to double up, like right here. Okay, so I'm going to guess that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. So I'm going to scroll to the left now. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. So you can see that I'm whittling down the numbers here one by one. All right. So now I'm going to go back to group 1, and my last pick is going to be option card number 15, no blue numbers. Okay, so this is my last option card. Okay, so again, you can see that there's a bunch of single zeros here. Okay, and I just think that is due to double up. So I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so one last thing that I want to show in group 1 here is this is my group 1 overview. Okay, so again, all the option cards look the same as far as red, blue, orange, and green. Okay, so out of all the 15 red areas, okay, you can see that the last drawing had 3 zeros to it. Okay, there's 4 zeros to the blue area, 3 to the orange, and 2 to the green. Okay, so what I do is that I take a third of these option cards, and when there's 5 or more zeros, I color this blue. Okay, and that gives me some separation. Okay, so this helps me guess where there's going to be a blue area. Okay, so if I think that this is going to be blue, then that means that there's going to be at least 5 of these red areas with a 0 to it. Okay, so I'm starting to guess that I'm starting to think that this is going to happen this way. Okay, but when all 4 of these hit in the red areas here like this, I call this a row. Okay, so there's a bunch of rows in a row here. Okay, so I'm also thinking that this might double up as far as being a row. Okay, like right down here, you can see that 2 of them came right in a row. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, so I don't want to pick as many as I do. But I just want to show you this overview of Group 1. Okay, so that's all I'm going to pick from Group 1, and now I'm off to my next strategy. Okay, strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from Group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my Group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like Group 1, where I divided the numbers into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how this works is I keep the stats for them right down here. And I have 15 of these option cards as well. Okay, so they all look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Again, it's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other from each different option card. Okay, so here I want to point out this red area. This is the stats for the red. Okay, so you can see this 0 right here. This means that none of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. And of course, this 2 right here means that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. Okay, so here's where I like to keep track of every 5 drawings because it shows me a majority of things. Okay, so if there's 3 or more zeros within these 5 drawings, I color this blue for cold. If there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so as I go through the history of things, okay, if something's really hot, well, eventually it's going to turn cold. Okay, so here, I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I don't think that any of these red numbers are going to come up in the lottery. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so here, the 25 shares the square with the 65. So as a group of numbers, I'm going to eliminate the 1, 9, 17, 25, 33, 41, 49, 57, and the 65 as a group. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I'm going to scroll to the left. Okay, so you can see down here, group 2, option card number 1, no red numbers. So you can see that there's no red numbers right here. Okay, so I'm going back to group 2, and my next pick is going to be option card number 3, no red numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the red, and as I go back through the history of things, you can see that it got very hot here, so I just think that it's going to cool down, and I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. I'm going to scroll to the left, and this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2 for one last pick. And I'm going to pick that number 14, no gray numbers will be coming up. Okay, so I'm going to go to option card 14. Okay, so here's the stats for the gray right here. Okay, so as I go down through, you can see that it got pretty hot, really hot. And now I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these gray numbers off of the game card. Okay, so the only one left is this 24. Okay, so as I go down, you can see that the 24 is gone. Okay, so I'm all done eliminating numbers. Okay, so I started off with 69, and now I eliminated all the numbers down to 6. Okay, so if I made all the correct picks, the 5-way winning Powerball numbers should land within these last 6 numbers that are left. Okay, and to help me pinpoint the 5 that are going to come up, I'm going to go to my next strategy. Okay, strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of numbers of either odd numbers or even numbers, or numbers to the high side or numbers to the low side. Okay, so I like to keep track of that stuff and try to guess what the majority will be for the upcoming drawing. Okay, so how this works is this 237. This is how many drawings I kept track of so far. Okay, and that's since October 7th. 2015, that's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of this 237 drawings, 117 have been the majority of odd numbers. 120 have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, so when I pick my numbers, I want at least 3 odd numbers to it. Okay, so as I move on to the next one, okay, this is high and low. Okay, so all the red numbers are high numbers, and all the blue numbers are low numbers. Okay, so you can see that this 65 is in the low section. Okay, so the only thing that matters is how I record things in the stats. Okay, so even though that this is a higher number at 65, I record it as a low number if it comes up. Okay, because it's in the blue area. So that's all I care about. Okay, so out of this 237 drawings, okay, 117 have been the majority to the high side, and 120 have been the majority to the low side. Okay, and then I have left and right here. Okay, so you can see that there's been 118 for the majority to the left side, and 119 for the majority to the right side. Okay, so I'm not going to take a guess on the left and right. I am going to make a guess over here that there's going to be more low numbers than high numbers. Okay, and my last one is this red and blue area here. You can see that the red has been really dominant. Okay, for the majority of the time, the numbers come up in this red area. Okay, so since these 3 are really close together, as far as 118 and 119 here, I'm going to guess that this blue is eventually going to catch up. Okay, so I'm going to guess that there's going to be a run of blue at some point. Okay, so one last thing I want to show you is this is what I have for the Powerball number itself. Okay, so this is that red number right here. Okay, so I do have something for it. Okay, so in this column here, there's 26 red numbers total. Okay, so a blue number will mean that it's low, 1 to 13. Okay, so you can see that this 4 is blue. Okay, and a red number means that it's high, 14 to 26. You can see that this 26 is red. Okay, so over in this column, a red number means that it's odds, and a blue number means that it's evens. Okay, so just kind of looking over at things real quick. Okay, I think that this is going to be red, which means that I think the Powerball number will be an odd number. Okay, and I think that this will be blue. Okay, so I think it's going to be a low odd number. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, I'm just going to scroll to the right. Okay, so the 50-50 picks, I'm going to make 2 guesses, and I think that the majority will be odd numbers, and I think the majority will be to the low side. Okay, so automatically I'm going to pick the 7, the 14, and the 23. Okay, so as I move on, okay, to the next strategy. Okay, strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, but I'm just going to concentrate on group 2. All right, so again, there's 15 of these option cards. Okay, so there's 15 red areas, 15 blue areas, okay, 15 orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so I like to keep track of that, okay, as a group. And I do that right here. Okay, so as I scroll over, this is my overview of group 2. Okay, so the last drawing in the red areas, you can see that there was 7 hits, 8 misses. Okay, so the magic number here is 8. Okay, it's right in the middle for 15. All right, so if there's 8 or more misses, I color this blue for cold. If there's 8 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so this helps me able to look at things and say, well, I think that this is going to be red, and I think that this is going to be blue or whatnot. Okay, so for this drawing here, I do think that this blue area will be a red mark here. So I think there's going to be a lot of hits in it. And I actually think that this orange will have a red mark too. So I think that this will have a lot of hits to it as well. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, okay, I think there's going to be lots of blue and orange hits to it. Okay, so as I go back to this group 2 here, okay, I'm going to look in the blue area and write down the number that's still left on the game card. Okay, so you can see that this blue area is from the 2 to the 68. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, I got the 2 and the 68, so the 2 numbers that are left are the 42 and the 50. So I wrote that right down here, 42 and 50. Okay, so as I go back to group 2, my next one is the orange. I think there's going to be a lot of hits in the orange. Okay, so that's the 3 to the 59. Okay, and as I go back to the game card, the 3 to the 59 here, the only one left is the 51, so I wrote that right here. Okay, so again, I have 15 option cards. So option card number 1 and option card number 15 down here, and everything in between. Okay, so I wrote down what's left on each and every option card. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my final strategy, strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are going to be the 7, 14, 23, 42, and 51. Okay, so by picking this combination of numbers, this will give me 8 hits and 7 misses in the blue area, and 8 hits and 7 misses in the orange area. Okay, so as I go back to the overview, again, I think that this is going to be an 8 right here and a 7 right here, which will make it blue. Which will make it a red mark. Okay, and I think that this is going to be an 8 and a 7 right here as well in the orange. So I think that this will be a red mark as well. Okay, so as I go back, again, the numbers I'm going to go with for this drawing are the 7, 14, 23, 42, and 51. Okay, so One last thing, if you're interested in my game, you can go to my Patreon webpage, www.patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. Okay, so, or you could email me personally and ask me for my game. You can email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And again, that's decodingpowerball@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.